Welcome to the Death by Disney podcast. I'm your host, Adam, and there are two rules for this podcast. One, I will watch every theatrical release that Walt Disney, the company, has produced, and every episode that I do must be released chronologically. So I can't just go for the classics first. So I'm recording them out of order, so I don't know particularly which number this one will be. But today, I'm reviewing Swiss Family Robinson. It's a 1960 live action film starring Kevin Korakuen, Seizu Hayakawa, Tommy Kirk, James Arthur, Dorothy McGuire, John Mills, and Janet Monroe. Here is my review. It's a surprisingly faithful adaptation of the book, but for me, a bit too long. Walt Disney bought the rights to the 1940 film version because he thought he could make a much better film. I think it probably was more successful commercially. However, it focuses on things that are just not interesting for me. There is no explanation as to how the family was able to survive and thrive in this environment. That gets overshadowed by a really forced love triangle, the threat from some pirates. One thing that both adaptations do, which is strange, is that they are faithful to the wide variety of animals that are on this island, is also found in the book. But that doesn't make any sense because this island is supposed to be somewhere in Asia and there are ostriches, zebras, and tigers. Honestly, I was bored by the end, and the most exciting thing for me was the caption that froze during the last half of the movie, and it said, "What am I going to do?" So that was the most exciting thing. I'll try and make the episode a bit more interesting for you. I didn't say this, but I gave it 5 out of 10 stars. So, yeah, there are not a lot of trivia, but some disturbing trivia. 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 That sounds like a word, but it's not. Some disturbing trivia. So, generally, this was one of the most expensive films to make at the time because they filmed it on Toga, which is an island, and they imported all of those exotic animals that I mentioned, and plus they built entire sets for the action, but also like they built basically a little village for the cast and crew to stay in. Yeah, but it also made the most money. So if you adjust it for inflation, it's one of the most successful family films of all time. Which is a bit crazy, but true. And Ken Anakin, not Darth Vader, but just Ken Anakin. He was the director, and he said on the DVD comment that the zebra was subjected to electric shocks to make it move. So basically, this film was full of animal abuse. So not great, not great at all. Yeah, so I have two reviews here from IMBD. I always have a negative one and a positive one. So let's start with the negative one. And this person gave it 1 out of 10 stars. The title, Why? This movie is stunningly bad, almost 2 hours of severe animal cruelty, bad acting, and an annoying screaming child sums this movie up very well. I find it hard to grasp why anyone in their right mind would rate this sick movie with more than one bleach star. How could a well-known animal, nature, and child lover such as Walt Disney ever get close to make a movie like this and put his name on it? I know that it was a very different time and world back in 1960 when this movie was produced, but still, really one of the absolute worst movies I've seen in my whole life, and can only say this about it: avoid, avoid, avoid. and that's from Barcode 1975 from 2024. Um, I think if you're looking at this movie from the perspective of animal abuse, certainly. And they did mention like how could Disney get close to it, but it was filmed on location, maybe not on location. Well, I guess on location. It was filmed on location in Toga, so Disney never went. So he probably wasn't aware of the animal abuse, and I don't know why you think Walt Disney is such a great guy. I think that's just propaganda, to be honest. Um, I don't think he would have cared if he had known about the animal abuse. He would have cared about the money, and he did care about how much money they spent on the film. You know, why do I think that Song of the South? um, yeah, that movie was crazy that he made that movie at that time. Also, the fact that in Lady and the Tramp, that was based on somebody else's idea, and he didn't give him credit for that idea until like, I mean, the Disney company, he never gave that guy credit, but the Disney company didn't give the guy story credit until like 1999. So it's for sure not the, he's not a shining beacon of positivity, Walt Disney. He's not really a great role model, I would say. So let's finish it with a positive review. Great Disney adventure movie with a super cast led by British actor John Mills. Swiss Family Robinson remains a solid, entertaining film for all ages, and of course that famous treehouse is an all-star by itself. Seeing it at Disneyland in Anaheim, California was a thrill every time. A believable script. This movie is well paced and the musical score fits perfectly. Suitable for even younger children, it's not boring for adults. This was the golden years for Disney movie making starting in the 1950s. Even effective on TV, it's best viewed on the full screen of your neighborhood theater. It's worth having Swiss Family Robinson in your permanent collection at home. Thank you for TCM in just airing it. Enjoy. And that is from Shan Frina Lu 31. Uh wait, no. Sorry, no. It's Shan Fria, July 31st, 2009. A believable script? What? It's not believable. Why are there ostriches on a small island in Asia? It's completely not believable at all. Yeah, I was bored. I was bored by it. Um, and maybe one other trivia thing is that the English version of Swiss Family Robinson, the book, is based on the German version, and there are like many different editions. And so the English version leaves out a lot of stuff that's in the German version. And so when they were making this movie, when Walt Disney was making the movie, he wanted to make a better movie than the Swiss Family Robinson movie from 1940, which I mentioned. So the writers, when they were creating this movie, they just said, okay, it's on a deserted island. What are some things we would like to see on a deserted island? And that's what they came up with. So it's not exactly a faithful adaptation, even though I said in my review earlier that it is. Yeah, so this has been the Death by Disney podcast, Swiss Family Robinson. Maybe let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like this movie? Is this your favorite? Why? And maybe also, how do you think, when when did people take animal rights and animal treatment a little bit more serious in movies? That's an interesting question. Okay, thanks, bye.